Okay, good afternoon. I'm Senator Malcolm Augustine, and we are here with the Special Joint Legislative Committee to select the state treasurer. The Special Joint Legislative Committee to select the state treasurer is tasked with interviewing candidates and recommending one of the candidates to the General Assembly for appointment as state treasurer. The Maryland Constitution empowers the General Assembly to elect the treasurer every 4 years. The treasurer is responsible for managing and dispersing state funds and is the custodian of all stocks, bonds, and other investments of the state. The treasurer's office also administers the insurance programs of the state and handles all details related to the issuance of state general obligation debt.
Thank you, Chair Augustine. Delegate Cherie Sample Hughes, Speaker Pro Tem for the House. One of the most important functions of the treasurer is to serve with the governor and comptroller on the Board of Public Works. The treasurer also serves on numerous other boards, including the Board of Revenue Estimates and the Maryland State Retirement and Pension Systems Board. We have 2 candidates that have applied for appointment as treasurer, including the Honorable Derek E. Davis, the current treasurer. Background information about each candidate has been provided to the committee members. And the second candidate that has submitted their name for candidacy is Blessing T. Olunwandere. Members, after the interviews are complete, we will take the time to select our desired candidate. And by statute, it is required for us to vote by secret ballot. At this time, are there any questions from our committee? There being none, our first candidate is the Honorable Derek E. Davis. Treasurer Davis, will you please come forward?
It's different being on this side of the mic. I can go forward?
Yes, at any time you're ready.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Joint Committee. For the record, my name is Derek Davis. I am the treasurer for the state of Maryland, the 24th treasurer. I have had the privilege of being a resident of the state of Maryland for the past 54 years. Yeah, maybe I could have left that out. For the treasurer, a member of the state for the past 54 years. As you all know, I represented District 25 in the in the House of Delegates from 1995 to my resigning and becoming treasurer in December of 2021. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve in that capacity, representing the members of the General Assembly on numerous boards. The most important, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but one of the most important being your voice on the Board of Public Works. I also serve on 24 other boards. Thank you very much. But the Board of Public Works obviously is the one that gets the most attention. What I've tried to do there, a couple of things. Number one, I take my role as your voice and the public, watching over our public dollars very, very seriously. It's imperative that beyond who gets what contract and things of that nature, my job is to make sure we're getting full value for every taxpayer dollar. And that's the highest priority in that, certainly in that particular role. One of my priorities over the past 14 months, I focused on number one, as it relates to the MBE program, making sure that we have fair and equitable participation in that particular program. I've partnered with the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus, and we will be doing things together, working in tandem on that. Financial literacy is another priority of mine. I've been using my platform to partner with other agencies, to partner with other organizations. We are working towards that goal. It's something I intend to continue going forward. But that is certainly a high priority. And then I guess finally is the modernization of the office. Treasurer Kopp left a great operation. So there was no need for a full makeover or anything like that, but there were some modernization things in terms of practices and definitely in equipment that we're undertaking. Currently our I-5 system that we operate, that we do payroll on and retiree checks and child support enforcements, it's 20 years old and it acts like it's 20 years old. Not to get into too much detail, I promised my staff I wouldn't get into it, but they know me, so I will get into it. That system actually doing routine maintenance in December, it actually just, for lack of a better way to put it, it broke down. And I thought I had the unenviable task of calling the governor, the speaker, and the president about 8 days before Christmas to let them know that we may not be able to meet payroll because of the system. Now, as it turned out, when we were having the maintenance thing, somebody forgot to put a screw back in, or it was something relatively minor. But the point of it was, when we thought it was down, you couldn't find parts to get it repaired. You couldn't find people to repair it. And unfortunately, I've spoken to members of the Department of General Services, and it's my understanding that that wasn't unique to my particular office throughout state government. So I guess I'm doing a little PSA here to encourage you all to take a look at our systems statewide, because that could be a major issue if they fail. It's certainly something the controller and we're looking at the FEMA system as well to potentially do a replacement. Just a couple of quick accomplishments. In June of 2022, we issued $1.5 billion in debt and maintained the state's AAA bond rating. I won't get into the full details of that, but what I have been told in my conversations with the rating houses, they are pleased with the mechanisms that we have in place, things like the Capital Debt Affordability Committee, spending affordability, those types of operations. So that has them comfortable giving Maryland a AAA bond rating, despite some concerns that they have regarding our overall debt. They know that we have strong management practices, and that's obviously the members of the General Assembly. I'm just carrying out its will, but the things that you all have in place to protect our fiscal house, they have taken notice of that, and they comment, frequently in my conversations with them about our management practices. We maintain nearly $22 billion in our portfolio on a daily basis. It's grown significantly, literally in the last couple of years. I believe in 2019, we were at 12 billion. 2021, I believe it was at 19 billion. And now we're just under 22 billion, like 21.78 billion. So we're doing well. Now, a lot of that has to do with income being higher or receipts being higher than we projected, federal money, things of that nature, but we're doing well. We've assisted state agencies in financing 4.8 million of equipment through our office's capital equipment lease purchase program. And we've handled nearly 4,000 claims against the state through our insurance division. I can actually go on and on. I believe you all have my written testimony. So this stuff is fun. I got to tell you, just getting into what I've learned. So forgive me for being long-winded. I'll end it there, but I wanted you all to know, again, I take being your treasurer very seriously. It's the honor of a lifetime, and know that, some of the things that I know that you all considered important, like knowing the different projects that were up before BPW in your districts that Treasurer Kopp started, we've maintained and will continue to do so. So Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman, if there are any questions or concerns that I can answer, by all means.
Thank you, Treasurer Davis. Members of the committee, are there any questions for Treasurer Davis? Senator King?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and keep consistent here with the two candidates that we have. So what is it about the treasurer's job that drew you to it and makes you want to be there as our treasurer?
Thank you for the question. What a lot of people may not know about me, in graduate school, I majored in public sector finance. So I've always had an interest in numbers and finance. The thing that drew me to this, though, quite honestly, it was the Board of Public Works. It sort of started there, that I wanted to ensure, and we've had great treasurers from, at least during my time, from Lucille Meyer, Richard Dixon, and of course, Nancy Cobb. I learned a lot from Nancy and Treasurer Cobb in having those conversations. I think it's important that we are protecting the state's fiscal house. There's very little I would consider more important than protecting those dollars, making sure that we live within our means, that we are properly spending money and getting value for those dollars. That's something that I've always had an interest in. I'd never had an opportunity. My career went in a different direction, but I've had training in that. And then over the course of these past 14 months, it just reaffirmed my interest in it. And we have a great team. Some of them are here. They're here purportedly for support, but they just don't want me to screw this up. And then they're out of a job too.
There you go.
So that's why they're really here. But that's the reason why Senator King.
Okay, thank you.
Colleagues, anyone else have any questions for the treasurer? I do have a follow-up question as well. Treasurer Davis, what in your background and experience makes you qualify for this position of treasurer?
I think in terms of my experience, I guess number one is having done the job for the past 14 months. We'll start there. I think I have an intimate knowledge now of the state's finances, but even more so than that, the relationships that I've developed with our financial advisors, the relationships that I've developed and continue to develop with the rating houses. They've had questions, quite honestly, about some of our policy decisions, having an understanding of the types of the reason why. I mean, not being that too long or too far removed, I know some of the things that I guess when I was there, and certainly while I'm gone, why we did what we did and the reasons for it. So having that intimate knowledge, obviously the relationships that I have with each of you, those are just some of the things. Again, I've had some educational training in the areas of finance and public sector finance management, those kinds of things. But I think the biggest, at this point, the biggest thing that I would say about my background now is having been treasurer for the past 14 months and, managing the state's fiscal house and working collaboratively with the governor and the comptroller to let them know that we're Team Maryland when it comes to our bond ratings and things of that nature.
All right. No, thank you so much, Treasurer Davis. Colleagues, any other questions for Treasurer Davis? If not, we really appreciate you coming out and speaking with us today. There is a second candidate, Blessing Oluwarde. Please come up and share opening remarks, if you would, please, at the table. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I came late. I'll be moving around to get the space. It's a little bit difficult. My name is Blessing Oluwadare, and I'm one of the candidates applied for the state treasurer, and I'm here for my interview.
Thank you for being here. What we would like to do is for you to just share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll have the members go into questions that they may have. We have your resume and the cover letter in front of us, but we certainly love to hear additional information from you.
So once again, my name is Blessing Oluwadare. Graduated from Australia University as business administration. And I've been working as a treasurer for motor vehicle administration for 2 years now. And when I come across this position online, and I think I can do it, and I do apply. So I'll be working as a treasurer and also like a planning committee for the complaint, and also have experience with the payroll and some administrative and clerk jobs. And I've been with MBA for like 2 years, like I said, going to 3 years now. And here I am today.
Okay, thank you so very much. Members of the committee, do we have any questions for Ms. Oluwadare? Senator King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will ask the same question that we asked the other candidate. What is it about your background that makes you really want to be the treasurer of the state of Maryland?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like I said earlier, due to my education and the training I got from my previous job, I think I'm fit. I can't say I'm fit, but I think I'll be fit for the state treasurer. Like I said earlier, as a treasurer, we oversee the state fund, the state debt, and the administration insurance program, which I had a training from the previous job as a treasurer for MBA. And through my education as a business administrator that I read from Trier University, they train us so much about concerning fund and stuff like that. And I think I'm fit for this position. Here I am today.
Okay, thank you, Senator King. Senator Hershey.
Thank you very much. Are you still employed at MVA?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
great.
still employed.
Tell us what your favorite thing and what makes you happiest at MVA.
Oh my goodness. Though I love interacting with so much people, like I love to interact with, I love to like meet different people, like different races and stuff like that. And I would love working with MVA because working with MVA, you're going to gain a lot of experience. Like you're going to know how to deal with people, you're going to know how to have a good communication with your team members and the customers that are around you. And you're going to know so many things, like you're going to be enlightened to so many things that the board of Maryland that can enlighten you to. So I love enjoying MVA. I love the job and my position as a treasurer, though the person that is there right now should be retiring like some months now. So I'm the one that is representing her as a treasurer for MVA. So I love the job because I've been doing this job for like 2 years. I love it, I cherish it. And just for me to like move up a little bit, and I just applied to this job. And but I love MVA. MVA is a good job, and being working with MVA, I learned so many things, like interacting with people with different background, and yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your enthusiasm, and we're very fortunate to have you working for the state of Maryland at MVA.
Thank you, Senator
Thank you,
Hershey.
sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize. Sorry about that. Senator Sally.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to also thank you, Ms. Blessing, for coming in and being enthusiastic you are about this opportunity in this position and working for the state. Can you just tell maybe us a little bit about some of the responsibility, if you have an understanding at all about the Board of Public Works?
Okay, so as a treasurer, I used to deposit a fund, like I said earlier. We deposit and we oversee some fund, like we pay some of our staffs, and I'm the one in charge of that. And we oversee some insurance program, like some people that have like a insurance debt or stuff like that, we oversee them. And in case they need money or they need any fund to cover up any situation, they come up to us and we oversee it, and we see maybe we're going to approve it or we're going to deny it. So, and we always set a planning committee as well as a treasurer, and we also oversee like a debt, maybe a customer debt or a state debt, or it depends on the kind of the debt, and we oversee them as also. And also we communicate, we do some, we receive some funds, so we always receive fund, we deposit fund, and some of the administrative job, one or two things about the administrative job, stuff like that we used to do at NBA. And though my only experience is working for NBA as a treasurer, so, and working with them for 2 years now. It might be a little bit different from the state, but similar to what we're going to do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Blessing.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Are there any other questions from our committee members? Okay. There being none, Ms. Olundun Ware, I hope I did not butcher your name.
You try.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll keep trying. But I want to just say on behalf of our committee, thank you for your time and thank you for being here on today and answering the questions of the committee. So at this time, you may leave the chair, and we're gonna do
Thank
our
you
next
so
step.
much. Thanks for having me today. And I'm so sorry for coming late once again. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So at this time, just want to reiterate that we appreciate both of our candidates for the state treasurer position to come before us today. The next step in our process committee is to look at the paper ballot that's in your folder and make your selection.
All right, there were 9 ballots cast, and there were 9 votes for the Honorable Derek E. Davis, and 0 votes for Blessing T. Oluwadari. So I assume that means that we will forward the recommendation to the full body of the Honorable Derek E. Davis for the position of treasurer, for the ongoing position of treasurer. All right, I think that we are adjourned. Thank you.